Hey folks, Jiminy Critic back here with another movie review for you. I'm going to talk about the movie Extraordinary Measures. This movie stars Brendan Fraser as John Crowley and Harrison Ford as Dr. Robert Stonehill. This is a drama brought to you by CBS Films, directed by Tom Vaughn. One of the latest things he directed was What Happens in Vegas, a comedy with Ashton Kutcher, and he directed this film as well. This movie is rated PG, but I do want to caution you because of the subject matter we'll get into here in just a bit. I don't think it's for the little kids, even though it's PG, which means the language is relatively clean, no excessive violence or anything like that. But just the subject matter might be a little too much, and the movie might be a little bit above the heads of kiddos. So you want to consider who goes to see this. 105 minutes is the length. And here's the basic premise of the movie. Brendan Fraser's character, John Crowley, and by the way, this movie is supposedly taken from some real-life incidents that happened, although the names have been changed, and some of the events, of course, have been made Hollywoodized to make the movie. But basically, John Crowley, Brendan Fraser's character, and his wife have a couple of kids. They have 3 kids, and 2 of them have this rare genetic disorder which is called Pompe disease. And just to give a quick breakdown of what that means, basically as they grow older, and most of the kids that have this don't live very long anyway, and they're up there, one of them's like 6 and one of them's like 8. And of course he works for a big pharmaceutical company that's always making, drugs to help people with different ailments that they have. But research has just been slow and not coming forth for how to work on this Pompe disease, so to speak. Well, as the movie progresses, of course, he runs into Harrison Ford's character, Dr. Robert Stonehill. He's actually working on things and enzymes or what they can come up with that might help stall or eliminate or slow down the progression of this Pompe disease in kids. And they the whole predication of this movie is they run into each other, and the one guy being the big drug worker manufacturer, the one guy being the research scientist, they kind of butt heads for a while at first on things, but then become begrudging friends. And he actually wants to do what he can to help these kids, the man's kids out, of course, but any kids that have this Pompe disease. And that's basically how this movie plays out. Again, the subject matter would be a little bit rough for kids. It's not, I will say this, it's not overly dramatic and tear-jerking where you're always just, sorrowing for these kids, because they actually play up the children of John Crowley as cheerful and as bright as they can be, and fun-loving life as they can be. They kind of know they have this disease and that they don't have long to live, so they kind of are living life to the fullest is what's going on. But if you enjoy Harrison Ford, he plays an old curmudgeon. If you like him in that role, and Brendan Fraser here is just kind of a gotta get this done, I gotta help my kids, and if that interests you, I think you ought to go check out Extraordinary Measures.